Hey everyone, I am just doing a little bit of some operations here and working on going live. Hey, it's Rachel Martin, Oceana Wines, and happy Tuesday, everyone. This is the office hours for Oceano Wines each Tuesday at 7 p.m. We are live streaming on Facebook on my personal profile, which is Rachel Martin, Oceano, I think maybe it'll be, I'm not sure. But all my friends certainly know. And then, of course, Oceana Wines Facebook page. We're on YouTube, and we're also live streaming right now on Instagram on another. I've got my phone set up next to my computer, so I'm trying to hit all the places where my friends live. So if you want to drop a comment and say hello, tell me who's viewing. I'd love to communicate. I'm going to touch a little bit on food pairing this evening. Well, evening here, so we're Eastern. Let me give you a little bit of background. Oceana Wines, we are specialists in Chardonnay and Pinot Noir from a very special coastal vineyard called Spanish Springs on the coast of San Luis Obispo County, right outside of Pismo Beach. If you were tuning in before, you may have seen the video of the vineyard. And so I have a few people on right now. I'm just going to play that so you can get a sense of Spanish Springs Vineyard. And so you're looking at the sun setting, and these are the vines. So it's 1.5 miles from the coast, right outside of Pismo Beach, which gives it a really unique terroir that is influenced by the ocean. We've got lots of oceanic fog, and it's the coolest climate in the state for growing grapes and the longest growing season. So we produce wines with great acidity, great food wines, Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. But I'm actually physically located in New York City. Therefore, a lot of the things that I post or communications that we make on behalf of Oceano always have like an Eastern time stamp and a Pacific time stamp, so everybody's on the same page when we're going to be live or have an event, what have you. So we're coming off of Valentine's Day, and Valentine's Day is awesome because for food and wine, because when we think about celebrating, we think about what we're going to eat and what we're going to drink. And sometimes, depending on who we are, we think about what we're going to drink first, right? And then we follow that up, or maybe we just don't care and we want to drink what we want and eat what we want. And if it goes well, great, or whatever, we're just in the moment wanting to just share with the people that we're with. Or hey, if you're doing a solo Valentine's Day, a self-love thing, that's totally cool too. And I celebrate that. I have a partner. I'm recently married, but I've spent many Valentine's Day by myself, and it doesn't mean that you should hold back on treating yourself ever. So let's just start and talk about a little bit of food pairing when it comes to Oceano wines, because obviously those are the wines that are near and dear to us. And I just happen to have a glass already poured. And I hope you guys are able to comment. If someone could just post something in the comments so I know that that's working, that would be super awesome. And if you want to join the conversation, like come on stage with me, I am going to post that link, and you can just jump on with me and talk about your experience with wine and food pairing. So this is, oh, hey, Kurt, thanks. So Kurt's commenting to let me know that all is well, and he thinks that I look great. Thanks. I like to say that I just rolled out of bed, but that's not exactly how this thing works. So anyway, this is our Chardonnay. I happen to be enjoying our 2018 vintage. This is a half bottle. Can't say enough great things about half bottles, because even though Corvins are a thing, and you can taste a bunch of different wines, but there's nothing like cracking open a fresh bottle of wine to enjoy. So always open your wines ahead of time, because if it's typical, say you go to a restaurant and you order a bottle of wine, and the service person is like, okay, taste it, whatever, and it's all good, and then you drink the wine before it ever really shows its potential, and that's a super shame. So just touching on that, what I like to do is check out a restaurant, and this is going to be really relevant once we have more capacity in restaurants, but is check out the restaurant's wine list ahead of time. And, depending on the restaurant, depending on your relationship, ask them to open it, either when you walk in the door. That's probably a good idea. So when you walk in the door, so that wine, and the sommelier is going to be able to taste the wine on your behalf to know if it's corked or something like that. But make sure the wine has had some, oxygen on it in order for it to show you, what it can do, what its capacity is. So this is our 2018 Chardonnay, and I was talking to some friends at the supper club this afternoon, and we're going to be involved in an event at Le Petit Hermitage in LA on the 27th of February with the supper club. And so we're going to pair this wine with the Seafood Tower. When you think about wine and food pairing, a good idea, good rule of thumb is what grows together goes together. So this is a coastal Chardonnay that has a briny character. So it's taking on the personality of where it's grown, of the ocean. So this wine goes amazing with all briny things, and with lots of savory things as well. The acidity is high, but the flavors are pronounced. It's a lot of citrus flavors. So for me, I opened this wine an hour and a half ago, and all I could think about is ceviche, but because of that citrus component in ceviche and like the strong flavor profile of ceviche, and you want to pair like acidity with acidity. So if you have an acidic food, you want to pair it with an acidic wine. So back to the Seafood Tower, oysters, super briny, amazing with a coastal Chardonnay. If you want to get into a little bit of detail, our Chardonnay is, it's fermented in French oak, so it has a roundness to it. It has body, but we don't put the wine through malolactic fermentation. So when you think about like your classic California Chardonnay, you're thinking, medium to heavy body, and you're thinking maybe it's like buttery notes, something really rich and maybe could be overpowering in a situation with like delicate foods, right? Well, not all Chardonnay, California Chardonnay is the same. So it's really important to pay attention to the region. So the AVA, the appellation, and so like a coastal Chardonnay is going to have higher acidity. A benchmark for Oceano Chardonnay is brininess, high acidity, and that's where you want to go with your pairing. And flavor with flavor. So this has a lot of flavor, but it's really delicate. So that's how you want to do the pairing for this wine. Now, when, I like to think about people who don't eat shellfish or who don't eat meat in general. So if you're a vegan or if you're a vegetarian, and you're not going to think of like your protein necessarily, like your meat protein as a pairing agent, you're going to want to think about flavor. So, hey, Lexi, I'm so glad you're here. How's it going? So when you think about like sweetness, so a sweet dish is going to increase the perception of acidity in the wine. So if you have a sweet or a spicy dish, the acidity or the tannin is going to be pronounced and maybe a little bit too much. I love non-Western cuisine, so I like heat. And I like a lot of complexity in my flavors, and I also like with some dishes there's a sweet component. So I always like to have maybe a Vouvray on hand or a Chenin Blanc, like something a little bit richer that can pair with those flavors. And then if you go to, and drop comments, please, because I love that. If you say are going to pair a red meat, you don't just think about red meat and red wine. You think more about your fat component. So if it's a fatty cut of meat, then you're going to want to have more acidity and tannin in the wine in order for it to cut through. Now, full disclosure, Kurt and I, for our Valentine's Day dinner, we had a short rib, and among many, many other things. In fact, we were members of the supper club, and we had this thing for Valentine's Day where we got a 7-course meal kit. So it was really awesome that we had our 7-course meal sent to us, but I had to actually cook it. So that was really intense. And I don't normally eat short ribs because I don't really like fatty foods that much. Of course, I love a fried chicken and I love certain fats. But anyway, so for a short rib, I went right to Italy. I went to Barolo because Barolo has the tannins to cut through the fat, and then also the acidity that is pronounced for structure. But that wine pairs amazingly with more fatty foods, and that's what I went for. Now, honestly, there's rules of thumb and there are best practices, but you don't have to pay too much attention to wine and food pairing if you just want to have a great experience. Pairing the right food with the right wine just brings it to another level. So if you have, say, spicy foods, you're going to want to lower the tannin in your wine. And so we make Pinot Noir, and Pinot Noir is a great example of a low tannin wine that can go with foods like that. So for those of you who might just be joining, or maybe, you're probably some of my family members who've decided to join as well. I'm Rachel Martin, and I'm the vintner of Oceana Wines. We make Chardonnay. What's up, Christina? Thanks, girl. We make Chardonnay and Pinot Noir from the extreme coast of San Luis Obispo County. And we started our company in 2016. And the pandemic has made it a little bit rough to spend time, going from coast to coast, since we actually are located in New York City. What's up, Christina? If you feel like joining the conversation, you can hop right in and be my guest and tell me what you're having tonight, or tell me what you love to pair wine with. And I see Craig Rogers has joined me on Instagram. I'm doing this like multitask thing, which obviously I can handle that. But what's up, Craig? I know it's difficult. Like if someone just asks you to come on their live stream, and maybe your hair isn't done, or maybe you're not dressed appropriately. But I would love if you. What's up? Hey, Kurt. Good to see you. So tell me honestly. Oh, I think I'm going to see if Kurt wants to go live with me on Instagram. So yeah, tell me your favorite, or you know what? Here's the thing. Email me, Rachel@oceanowines.com, and let's have a conversation about food pairing, or let's have a conversation about wine or wineries or terroir, or let me know what you want to know more about, and we're doing artist collaborations that we started at the end of 2020, and we're going to kick back up with that in March. So we have 2 artists coming on in March that we did collaborations with. One of them is Steve Shook, and he's a screen printer. And so Steve and I did a collaboration for poster art for Pismo Beach and Oceano. And then I'm going to have on Dr. Sandra Barrett, and she lives and works and studies in the molecular world. And oh, what's up, Nia? Thanks for joining. So Dr. Sandra Barrett will be on with me March 9th at 7, and she photographed our wines under a microscope to look at them on a cellular, molecular level, and they're just beautiful works of art. For me, creating wine is creating art. My background is art, and it's about experience. And it's, so when we make wine, we're making wine to enhance lives, to enhance your lives, to increase the appreciation and experience for life. And so that's how I liken wine to art. And so we have some exciting things coming up. So I'm going to take off. Just kidding. I'm going to jump off. And thanks everyone for joining. And let me know anything you'd love to hear or see in the future, questions that you have. If you want to hop on as a guest at some time, I'd love to have you, and we could talk about things wine, things art, things wine, things vines, whatever it is. I'd love to connect with you all on that. So I'm going to go make some dinner, and I wish you all a great evening, and drink responsibly, drink with intention, and stay safe and be kind. So until next Tuesday, I'm hoping to have Marbu on, our winemaker, on. He, there's just he's had some things. He's not sure if he could join next Tuesday, so I'll keep you all posted. But hopefully, we'll have Marbu join us next Tuesday. But if not, we'll bring you some other great content. So thank you for joining, and peace and love. Bye.